Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Anthony Raymond. I'm the publisher at Callisti Publishing, and I'm speaking here today with the author of the book we published called The Butterfly's Apprentice, a Power Spell. The author's name is Ruben Perez, and we're going to talk to him today and get to know what his thoughts behind his tremendous book is, and a whole lot of other things, I'm certain, right, Ruben?
Yeah, I'm certain our conversation could go down a rabbit hole, but we'll try to keep it. We'll try to keep it at ground level, though.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great introduction to Ruben. But Ruben, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, a little bit of your background.
Right. In 1972, I was born in 72 in East LA, in the Boyle Heights section, and I was had a lot of issues. Luckily, I got transported out for my middle school and high school education, and went to a performing arts school. It was like a middle school, and then I went to a performing arts high school, and a lot of my friends were trying to be actors, and I stood out there for a little bit, but then realized that I was going nowhere quickly. So I decided to go to school. And that was a journey in itself, because I was not a good student coming up. And yeah, like in I think maybe my mid-20s, I was going to school. I had all these goals for success. I was pretty. I don't think I was somebody who thought too deeply. And then I had this. It was like these words. They sound airy fairy, but it's the only way. It's like appropriate. I had like an awakening.
Okay.
It was an awakening, and I started to really be attracted to arcane and esoteric subjects. And as I kind of went into that world, just like reading books and stuff,
Sure.
I had another amazing thing happen, and that's like I got in touch with what most people would call their spirit guide.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. So when this change happened, and then that happened, and we were finding ways to communicate with each other, because they don't show up and talk like you and I. A lot of the information is indirect, and but they do it so that you can develop intuition and intelligence, and that's why they don't come out and directly say what they're asking for, or directly give you an answer. They'll do it through indirect means. But yeah, that's I got to the point after thinking, oh, how cool this is why are they dealing with me, with me, when I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there who are more pious, or have better respect for creation, and that didn't really mean much to them. They want, they influence people, and one of the things they wanted me to do was to write about my experiences.
Okay.
And that was kind of like the favor that they were asking for. It's
And
like,
that leads us to your book, The Butterfly's Apprentice, a
right.
power spell. Now,
Yes.
how did you go about writing it, and how did the book come to be?
It was an idea of, I was putting down thoughts that I had evolved to, like my
Hmm.
old thoughts and then my new thoughts. And I was writing my new thoughts down. And of the idea of putting it together in a story came to mind. And then I had some friends who were looking at it, and they were really encouraging.
Hmm.
And um, I I went to go speak to a friend of mine who um, has her she's a psychic. I know that sounds terrible,
Hmm.
but I asked her if I actually put the time and energy into this book, would it sell?
Uh-huh.
And she said it would do very well. And she said, it, and so all those things motivated me to work and continue to work. But it almost, it almost feels like it wrote itself. You
Right.
know, like,
I
like I
hear
gave
that from
birth
so many
to it.
authors.
Right, right. It's all out there. It's
Right.
it's all out there, and then you're standing in a certain spot, and the wind hits you, and you got a story that you're going to give birth to, or an article or something.
Okay. And what's the story about? What is the Butterfly's Apprentice about?
Okay, so the Butterfly's Apprentice is me.
Okay.
I am the Butterfly's Apprentice. In the story, the one of the main characters describes how the type of person he was before his enlightenment. So he said,
Mhm.
before my enlightenment, I was like something that crawled on the ground, and then after the enlightenment, I flew like a butterfly.
Okay.
And so the butterfly is the master, and then the apprentice would be the one learning from him, or her.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I had this life that I was planning for myself, which was out in California in this mountain community. I wanted to teach
Hmm.
in this community and meditate. They
Okay.
had a Zen center up there, and I wanted to do those things. I felt very spiritual. I felt like things were moving in the right direction, and and so I just started to write all that put together. Like my encounters with the masters. They've been a few of them, and they've all been very short.
Hmm.
I've never met a master when they were standing in front of me that I didn't know it was them. Like I found out it was them after,
Okay.
um, and so I wrote about those experiences, and then dreams. I had a lot of dream work that I put into some of the
Okay.
stories. Just yeah. So yeah, in the end, I uh, I try to end it with a nice ending, but nobody really knows what the other side is like. But
Hmm.
we go there. So
Now, why do you think they chose you?
well, I've always been partial to writing,
Hmm.
but I also have uh, like karmic relations with them. Like in other words, we were family or we were friends in past lives
Hmm.
before they received their enlightenment.
Okay. That's fantastic. Now,
Yeah.
this book is a fictional story. The Apprentice is a fictional story,
Mm-hmm.
but it describes some of your real
Life encounters. Yeah,
life encounters, experiences. Now, how do you think this will help people who read it?
that's a great question. Well, one of the things that I'm hoping it'll help is that
Hmm.
to let people know that there are still masters out there. Like
Okay.
if you go to a museum into medieval art or even later, there's always these pictures of angels and
Hmm.
and it's almost as if they were alive back then, but they're not alive now. But they're still out there. They're working for the good, and they're trying to let us know that we have a line to the Creator,
Hmm.
and because that line exists, we can bring forth and manifest lives that aren't so dreadful.
Yeah, gotcha. That's
Yeah,
okay, because that's something that you repeat in the book quite a bit is a oneness with the creator.
yeah.
And so in the book you talk about that a lot, and you also give some, techniques to
Mhm.
help people achieve that. Is that what you've done in your life? Is that what brought you into contact with these teachers, or did the
Uh,
teachers, was it
I I've never been one with the Creator.
okay?
I'd like to be. I would like to be, but no, I'm not there yet. But
Okay.
definitely meditate to build that oneness, and yeah, it's they're they liked my attempts. They
Hmm.
liked the idea that I was trying to do this
Hmm.
for just for the goodness sake.
Hmm.
As they, I wasn't trying to develop the same abilities that they have, even though
Sure.
having them would be fun. But yeah, it's I was able to align my heart with their hearts. They want to help humanity as much as they can, and I'm not there yet either, but I'm trying to be the best that I can in hopes that other people will encounter that and be the best that they can. They find hopefully they'll find it attractive.
Anything that's you mentioned that, kindness in your heart, sincerity in your heart. Do you, according to what you've learned, is that all that it takes? Not a diminutive all, because it's obviously a big step, but is that all that it takes?
Um to tell you the truth, I don't know
Okay.
because I'd have to be a part of. I'd have to know more. I
Mhm.
don't think it's all it takes. But if you got that, they can work with it.
Yes.
They can work with that. I guess I should make it clear that I can only tell you my thoughts
Mhm.
and from the encounters that I've had, and but nothing that I know is completely sure. And
Sure.
I don't want to. I don't. I don't want to come off like that. People need to know that all I'm saying is that these people are out there,
Okay.
and they're trying to do good. You know.
Ruben, that's fantastic, because it's actually refreshing with so many people,
Yeah.
self-described gurus,
Yeah.
each out there saying, well, this is the truth, capital T, the truth. Um, and to have someone come along and say, this is what I've been told, this is my perspective. So that's fantastic. And
Yeah.
I applaud you for that. And I know all the readers who have the book and read the book applaud you for that, because it's truly significant. Believe me, it's very significant. Um,
Yeah.
Now in the book you blend you go at things spiritually, and in
Hmm.
doing so seem to cover all of the major religions, and you have a particular take on Christianity and Jesus Christ in particular.
Hmm.
Have you received any feedback on that?
Yeah, there. I mean, when I first wrote it,
Hmm.
years back, that it was something that made people uncomfortable.
Really?
It
Okay.
made them really uncomfortable. But and I, to a certain extent, I get it.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like when Sam Kinison used to tell his Jesus joke. You know, you're like, oh
You might
man,
be
but
one of the few people, especially nowadays, who would reference
yeah,
Sam Kinison. Very funny. Absolutely funny guy.
but I with Jesus, I believe that he was just an ordinary man who came in with a very old soul, and he had this desire
Mhm.
to serve humanity. He
Yeah.
had this desire to be close to God, and he worked hard at it. And because he did, these things inside of him developed.
Mhm.
And then once it got started, it just kept going. So it's my belief that he um he did get crucified. He did resurrect, and he's still alive out there. He's still working for humanity. He just may not be doing it in a physical body because it gives you a physical body gives you limitations,
Sure.
and outside of the body, he can reach a lot more people. But I was very surprised to to hear that. I had read in some books that uh, people had encountered him, and it was just difficult for me to believe. It was I thought, oh, they're throwing that in there. That's a nice touch, but
Yes.
it's not real. And then I myself had a small encounter with him, and it was just it like that really blew me away
Wow.
that humans can live, that he could control the energy of his body so that it didn't age. And
Right.
he's not the first one to do it, and he wasn't the last one to do it. There are people out there, and they work at all levels of humanity. Not maybe not directly, but indirectly. And
Gotcha.
so that's why I told you that one day I consider myself boots on the ground, because I might be the one you're standing to at a bus stop, and I'm gonna come out with this stuff. But it's better to put it in a book
Absolutely. Absolutely. And quite frankly, your interpretation of Jesus isn't, it's been around. I mean, there have been movies done like with that, and of course books, and I haven't found it disrespectful, and I know many of the readers who bought the book and commented on it, they're just like, no, that's an interesting idea. Whether they agree with you or not, no one's been offended, and it's been very wonderful and for me very heartwarming. And on
yeah.
and on that note, that's fantastic. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the book and or about yourself?
Um, I was kind of playing with the title, and when I put
Mhm.
a power spell, but
Yes.
in in reality, I believe that that's what it is.
Hmm.
It will, um if you can integrate some of those, if you even agree with some of those beliefs, but then integrate them and try to practice them, um you can change your life. You can change your
Sure.
life for the better. And it's it's really cool when things that you thought were never going to work out wind up working out. And
Yes.
so yeah, it just makes me want to put more energy into trying to manifest a beautiful life.
There you go. And I think that's what everybody wants to do. And I think people who read this book will find ways to make that possible because there's so much information in this book, and it's such a beautiful story that is beautifully told. You have
Uh,
some great turns of phrase in the book that continue to impress me and other people as well. And we look forward to hearing more from you, Ruben.
Okay. All right, Anthony. Well, I enjoyed this, and
Me
hopefully we,
too. Thank you very much.
yeah.
And until the next book or the next interview, because I'm certain we'll get more questions from people and we'll talk again and we'll take it from there. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Ruben Perez, the author of The Butterfly's Apprentice, A Power Spell. It's available at thebutterfliesapprentice.com. Go get it. Thank you, Ruben.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Okay. All right.